How you been?
Okay.
Yeah, just okay. Nah, you've been having some fun.
Roller coaster
Did you you went to a
of
festival?
emotions. Huh? Did I go
Huh?
where? Oh, nice. Cheers. This is my San Diego Zoo cup. And you
Oh,
have the Lesbian Fiasco mug. Wow, so freaking official. Dang.
it's so nice too. I was really surprised actually. I got it and I was like, dang, that's nice.
That's cool. You don't feel weird drinking out of it or anything, do you? Because one time I bought a coffee mug from the thrift store and I was like, "Ooh, yes, I love this kind of coffee mug." And then I brought it home and then I was like, "I don't feel comfortable drinking out of this mug."
Hi.
I don't know. As soon as I got home, I was just like, "The vibes are off on this mug."
Oh, you're like, this definitely belonged to like an old person who died in their home.
Yeah, that's right. I felt the spirit of the mug and I was like, "No, no,
Mhm.
no."
Can't do it. No, I've drank from many of mug from the
Mini a mug.
thrift store. I
Like
don't get
me
anything from
glasses
stores.
and stuff. Yeah, me too.
I don't get anything from thrift stores anymore. Ever.
Yeah,
Away.
I love thrift
And
stores.
after my mom died and everything went to the thrift store, and I was like, no, never again.
I know. Yeah.
It's just
Well,
dead people stuff, pretty for the most part.
remember J&J Junk and going
Mhm.
through people's photographs?
Oh yeah, the boxes and boxes of pictures.
It's like it's morbid, but in
Diaries.
such
Remember we
a
found that diary?
yeah, but in such in fascinating ways, you know? It's like cryptic. But
Oh, I
it's
think I
like,
still
should
have.
I be seeing this? I don't know.
Wait, I think I still have that notebook. You
Oh
remember that notebook we
yeah.
found?
Oh, I
And
do.
it was like all the dirt.
All everything.
I
That
should see if I could
diary.
find it. And the next off script, we read from it and we're like, who is this? Come forward.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Just just
Does anybody know who this person
throwing
is?
a reel out here. Does anybody was anybody born in Alabama in the 70s and
I think it had her name on it and other people's names.
well, you know, I'm always down for opening up a cold case.
Nice. Let's do it. It's gonna
Yeah.
happen now.
Yeah. Um yeah. You know what? I'm great. I have such highs of love and just like just being just doing everything I want to do. And
Hmm.
then I have like such lows of like being American
Hmm. Hmm.
and I don't know, like right before we started talking today, I just saw something horrible on the internet. An executive order about guess what this week? No, sorry, this month is now.
Oh God.
And I'm sorry, I always take it political because I'm involved, you know. But this is apparently National Child Abuse Prevention Month. And you guess what that means? It's fucking, I'm sorry, anti-trans month for the White House. Let me just read
What?
whitehouse.gov for a second, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
They're saying like we declared this month April to be National blah 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 Child Abuse Prevention Month. Sadly, one of the most prevalent forms of child abuse facing our country today is the sinister threat of gender ideology. Proponents of the gender ideology movement are outrageously indoctrinating our children with the devastating lie that they are trapped in the wrong body and that the only way they can truly be happy is to alter their sex with hormone therapy, puberty blockers, and sexual mutilation surgery. The evil and backwards lies of gender insanity are robbing our children of their happiness, health, and freedom while imposing unimaginable heartbreak on parents and families. As I stated during my joint address to the Congress last month, my message to every American child is simple. You are perfect exactly the way God made you.
Yeah.
As president, blah, 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 prohibiting public schools from indoctrinating our children with transgender ideology while also taking action to cut off all taxpayer funding to any institution that engages in sexual mutilation of our youth. To further protect our children, have taken historic action to secure our southern border and end child trafficking. And I am working diligently to make our young people healthy again. You know, I hope I hope all these faith pastors, I'm sorry. I hope all these people that work with children in the church that always end up being the molester, I hope they hear that. But obviously this is misdirection to trans people like that. It is just
Um, you know, it would be really great if we saw this kind of energy every time there was a school shooting. You know what I mean?
oh yeah.
We care about the children so much, but don't fucking touch our guns because we care about those more.
Yeah, I
Their
know.
obsession with children's genitals is so weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Absolutely.
control they want over how other people
This is coming from a
imagine if
rapist,
we
but also
yeah, right, right. But just imagine if like
a child rapist.
it was if it was flipped, right? And you know what? And I've thought about this so many times, starting a petition and actually trying to make some kind of movement where children are not allowed to go in churches until they are adults, until they're 18 years old, because that's where all of the trauma happens. That's where most of sexual abuse comes from.
Yeah, it's
So,
very true.
we just need to turn it around on them and go, okay, you want to play this game? Your kids can't go to church with you. It will be illegal. It should be illegal. That's where they get hurt the most.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And you know what? Why don't you school your kids? You fucking stay home and teach them
Mm-hmm.
because they're probably going to get shot at school.
Oh,
And by the way, what's the
they don't want
percentage?
them to go to
Point
school.
0.6.
They don't want children to go to school. They don't want children to be educated. They don't want children to know anything other than their small little town framework.
But okay, it, the way that this is what we focus on, right? It's all about getting people enraged. And we know that because it's
Yeah.
0.6% of the population that's trans, right? That's transgender. It's between zero point 0.6 and maybe 1%. And this is where we focus. Come on, man. It's
I
all
know.
trash. It's all garbage.
I know.
Scapegoat, you know?
When I heard Laverne Cox speak on Saturday, she was like, "Girl, why you think why do you think we're good at sports? Why do you think we do like there's not so many trans girls in sports. Y'all think we're that y'all think we like sports?" It's like such an like a tiny almost non-existent percentage
Right. But that's where
of
they focus it, right?
but they focus there. I saw something this week too about like this like fencing competition. Like the one of
Oh,
the
yeah,
girls.
yeah.
Yeah, you saw that.
Yes, they refused, right?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. But this is all their propaganda, their story. You know, they're
Wait, did they
like
refuse to compete or did she lose?
the no, they she refused to compete.
Okay, okay.
Hmm. Which it shouldn't, it doesn't seem like it would like whatever, fencing.
Right.
Like let's not take it. Let's not peel anything apart. This is fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, but I went to Saturday. I went to Trans Liberation Day. It was a
Awesome.
rally.
Mm-hmm.
And Laverne Cox spoke with several other peoples from the trans community in Los Angeles, and it was just kind of like a wellness like meetup, just or like and rally, just being like, do you need any kind of services? We have everything you want. Also, I learned about before I went, I learned about a new acronym.
Mm-hmm.
It's TGNBI plus,
Yeah.
talking about the like trans, gender non-conforming, non-binary, intersex segment of the LGBTQ plus
Yeah.
umbrella,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah. So, I thought it was amazing to like
Mm-hmm.
even just be so inclusive with like non-binary people. I was, to be there because I mean, just oh my God, like oh God, Laverne Cox, man. She's amazing. She's so amazing. Her speech. I'm sorry. I'm giving you all my homework and then we can talk. But
Okay.
can you hear this thing from Laverne Cox?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay.
Overturn this plutocratic system and get something in place, get money out of politics so we can get something in place and elect politicians in place who are there to work for us and our needs and concerns. But we have to be able to come together and not succumb to divide and conquer. And so I implore all of our alleged allies, accomplices, even the people who hate us, outside these beautiful walls today to rethink how they've been lied to. They, it's clear they lied about Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. They lied about everything. Is it possible that they lied about the trans people too? Is it possible that the trans women are not dominating sports? It, we're not. We're not. Is it possible that they've used old fascistic tactics? What about the children? We have to protect the children to demonize and dehumanize essential gender affirming care for children. That they are lying straight up, getting on TV every day, lying and using dehumanizing language to do it. The way that we dehumanize people, Brene Brown talks about this in Brave in the Wilderness, the process is using primarily words and images to move a certain category of people into the space of moral exclusion. Once they're in that space of moral exclusion, they're no longer human. So we can take away their rights, we can commit violence against them with impunity. Everything that's happening with people, seeing people getting sent to El Salvador, Guantanamo, they've been successfully dehumanized. Anyone who has immigrated to this country, and it's just so disgusting because we're a country of immigrants. And then the gag are the people who are immigrants who support all this mess. And it's a gag. It's a gag. So they're lying, and so if they can begin to understand that they've been lied to, maybe they can look to their trans siblings and LGBTQIA plus siblings and say, I'm sorry, I was lied to, I believed a lie. Let's work together. Let's atone as well, because also the problem with us building multiracial, multi-generational, different class coalitions is how am I going to trust you, girl? How am I going to trust you when you haven't divested of your white supremacy and your patriarchy and your transphobia and homophobia? How am I going to? I might as well go.
Yep.
Wow. I bet that was amazing to listen to in person.
Yeah.
I
It was
imagine the
really
energy was just like, it
the
would
my
be hard for
energy
me
was
to not
the energy was
riot.
actually no. It was so lovely. It was not even it was not
Did you
even like that.
march?
No.
No, this wasn't
This
the
wasn't
hands off.
rally.
Okay.
This was no. Actually, that happened afterwards, but I was already like one a day, one a day.
Yeah, right.
No. I was actually carpooled, so so
Yeah.
had to get back in the car. No, yeah, but that's amazing what like all the stuff that went down this past weekend, you know, or just there's millions of people out there,
Hmm.
and then on then on Monday, your little stock market's tanking, so you decide to come out with some kind of child protection bullshit.
Right, exactly. And then
Yeah.
he comes out and he said, oh, the something about like, are you gonna suffer to begin with, but you have to suffer a little bit to get like, what bullshit are you just trying to feed people on a regular basis, man?
I know. Seriously.
Like he literally, it's gonna be hard for a while for the American citizens, but then what, dude? They can't afford anything right now, and their 401ks are crashing. Like people are relying on this stuff now. There are people who are
Yeah.
relying on that stuff right now. There are
Mm-hmm.
people who can't retire right now.
Social Security is already hacked, you know? I mean, they're gonna come after all of that and he's gonna have his little parade with all of our money.
Hmm.
It's really it's
You
really
know,
sick. He's definitely not like he's doing this to really just destroy the place. He's not American. Elon's not American, you know. They're doing it to destroy America.
I have I'm always on the fence about that because like I wrote in that episode of WLEZ, America was founded on exactly what he's doing right now.
Okay, but let's not apologize. I don't want him to fucking like to fucking make it great again for him. This is not going in a better direction.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it, but I'm
It's
just saying that we can't, there's no point in history where it's been like, yeah, in American history.
oh yeah, for sure. No. Yeah, but this is very like implode. Like
Hmm.
I'm Putin's buddy. Look at me. I
Hmm.
want a parade like in like North Korea, you know.
Hmm. Hmm.
This is the
Oh, he
yeah,
definitely wants to be
like
worshipped.
nothing really to be super proud of from before.
Right.
But the diversity is what makes us like better
Right.
than what than all the white patriarchy behind it.
Hmm. I agree. But they're afraid of the diversity because then they won't be at the top. They're
Yeah.
watching their numbers dwindle. So I'm wondering who purchased TikTok because it was supposed to go off yesterday, right?
Uh-huh.
It was supposed to be shut down if an American buyer didn't step in. And I was like, oh, fully expecting it to be gone today. And it's still there. And one of the last minute bidders was, drum roll,
Yeah.
Blackstone.
Blackstone?
Mm-hmm. Do you know who Blackstone is?
I've heard it before. Please remind me.
Oh, if
Is it like is it like is it Project 2025? Was that Blackstone?
Blackstone is, they probably gave a lot of money to it. Blackstone
Okay.
owns most of America,
Okay.
most corporations,
Mm.
most real estate now. They're the ones that are
Mm.
going in and purchasing houses, umbrella, like they have an umbrella over all of these companies that they purchase
The
that go
investment
out
firm.
and buy all of these residential housing areas and turn them into rentals, um,
And they've already
essentially
they've
wanting
already messed
to
up our
get rid
housing
of
market.
ownership.
Yeah.
Yes. So they're
Yeah.
one of the biggest reasons why it's so difficult to purchase a home. They're
Mm.
one of the biggest reasons for gentrification in this country
Mm.
and why people get taxed out of their homes.
Mm. So,
Um,
so are they really going to be the owners of TikTok?
don't know. They put a bid in. Who else? Amazon put a bid in, and there was somebody else. There was something else.
Oh my God. Social
Hmm.
media. I
I
want off of
know. I
it.
know. I know. I was thinking
You
about it the
know,
other
I
day, and it was
never,
like I'm stuck on it now.
oh my gosh, I don't know, dude. You know how I already felt before.
Hmm.
It's getting worse. I guess
Hmm.
my only like forms of social media I kind of stick to right now are Reddit, which is actually just getting to be a lot, just a lot of news, and YouTube.
Hmm.
And I guess YouTube is a social media too.
Hmm.
But it's sick. It's sickening what the algorithms are kind of leading us into this. And I don't I don't feel right about any of this, man. Don't feel right about it. I
I
don't feel
agree. I agree with you. I know. I was the other day, like if it wasn't for the podcast, I would delete TikTok and
Facebook.
probably everything else.
I
So,
know. It's so so conflicting when you know that there are people who, it's their lifeline.
hmm.
Because, it's like, can we just all unplug and go outside? Sometimes the outside ain't all that great, you know?
Right. I don't know. I think that
We're
they
regressing.
they kind of won, you know. I feel like this was all on purpose to, I mean, think about it. We can't really watch a 30-second. Most people can't watch a 30-second video at this point because of TikTok. It's got to be 10 seconds or less, or they're bored and they scroll to the next one. So our attention spans are next to nothing.
You know what
Um,
though? I wouldn't necessarily say, I think the amount of information consumed that like people are consuming so much information that they only have time, like they're busy multitasking, only have time for this certain amount but in the big scheme of it, look at how many hours they're on their phone.
Well, that's not good
All of
either. We
all of
shouldn't
their
know everything that's happening all over the world. We're not meant for that. Our brains are not meant to handle that.
Woo. I would love to unplug
Yeah.
from just like
And
knowing
and
about
also
things, but
let me say,
I really feel like I need to know things like what's happening right now, you know?
but we're not meant to also go like my TikTok and even my reels on Instagram and Facebook, it goes from really funny to really sad to infuriating, back to funny, really sad, 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 funny, funny, infuriating. Like I'm feeling all of these emotions within a 15-minute time frame, which is spike of cortisol, and then drop, and
Mm-hmm.
then dopamine, and then drop, and then, you know what I mean? We're
Yeah,
not supposed to be doing that. That's
for sure.
that's not good for our brains. It's just
Yeah,
not.
it's not. It's not. Let's talk about self-care.
Self-care. What are you doing for self-care?
Well, nothing. Tell me, what do I do for self-care? No, I
Haven't you
guess
you've been
I
working out?
getting back into it after my toe injury.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yes, I am doing that and cooking for myself.
Nice. So you get out of the
Um,
house too. Like you get out of the house and go to Hotter Flash, right? Hot Flash, Hotter Flash.
this weekend is Dyke Day.
Oh yeah, you're going to Dyke Day. But when's the next Hotter Flash?
I don't know.
Okay, well, just be
Um,
sure that Monty will be there.
hey,
So,
I've taken a little time off due to the just everything being so fucked up. I have not been really I've been sitting it out for the past few months, but
hmm.
we'll see. I know. I feel like just being out amongst um amongst family this weekend, I feel like I want more of that for sure.
Hmm.
It
Right.
feels really nice.
Would
Yeah.
you ever date a mask?
I don't really see that in the cards for me in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, you like feminine women.
I mean, I don't see the cards see me in with yeah. I think I've actually tried that already. So
Yeah, it doesn't work.
it
Same.
doesn't really work. I'm not really interested in that.
Yeah. I
But
tried to
I
make
definitely
it work with a mask one time and it did not work at all.
hmm,
Crash and
but
burn.
I definitely wanted to try it because I was
Mm-hmm.
like, um, I've never done that, and wouldn't it be so crazy
Mm-hmm.
to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Step outside of my own box. But in the end, I reflected and came to a decision. We all did. The board did.
The
Okay.
board. Yeah, yeah.
And we decided that not interested in that.
Mm-hmm. What about somebody who's non-binary? Do they have to present a certain way? Like you couldn't date somebody who's non-binary like yourself?
I definitely could. Yeah.
You could, but they would have to present feminine. How does that work?
Um, I You have to present to me femininity. No, come on. Nope, 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 nope. You know what? There's no black and white line I can draw for you, buddy. Okay. Ain't gonna give you that answer, buddy. All right. Go on about yourself. If somebody is like pronouns she them. Oh, hell yeah. They them. Fuck yeah. Honestly, whatever. Just somebody that kind of maybe is definitely more on the mask spectrum and kind of takes up kind of like more mask traits, then
Hmm.
I'd be like, no,
No.
thank
Hmm.
you. Let me go about my business. Excuse me, bro. Whoa,
Hey, bro, stop trying to push up on me. I ain't like that.
whoa. Buddy, you all
No
right?
homo. I mean, wait.
Just kidding. I have a shirt that says no homo. Just kidding.
Awesome. I know. I
Yeah.
complimented somebody one time and it was a dude. I was like, "Oh, you have really like nice eyes or whatever." And I was like, "No hetero."
Nice.
Yeah. No hetero.
Good.
Hmm.
I think that should be proclaimed more often. No,
Hmm.
not really. I mean, we don't have to. Why do we have to constantly out ourselves? You know?
I don't know. I think saying no hetero is like a ew.
Yeah,
Don't
no,
want
no,
any
no.
part of that.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Hmm. Keep that shit away from me and the children.
Yeah. Ew,
Disgusting.
hetero, what? Ew.
Ugh.
And the
I'm a
children.
fucking heterophobe.
Oh, I'm afraid of the heteros. I'm afraid of the world. Nice.
Yeah. Let's get into it.
Yeah. So,
How
how are
much sex have you had in the last year?
you? Wow. Okay, you first.
I have a feeling it's more than you, but not
Uh,
by much, maybe.
yeah, it is more than me. That's correct.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen,
Wow.
you got that great toy though that I was like, remember I sent that to you? And I was like, you gotta get this shit. It's gonna change your life.
I got yeah, something like that. It's not the
Yeah.
exact same one. No, I didn't get the same one that you recommended.
I thought you did.
I don't think I did.
Which one
List.
did you get?
I
I
don't
could have
know.
sworn that you got the same one.
No.
And because you sent me a text message and you were like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You're like, I never have to have sex again.
It's done a great job. Yeah. my friends over at, we're not sponsored. I'm not going to say their names.
Yeah, no, hell no.
Even though I used to,
Nah,
even though I used to know one of their distributors.
you
Uh,
don't say. Discounts.
that's right. That's right. That's right. You know, freebies.
Yeah,
Hey,
you need to get on that.
which happens actually pretty often. I mean, if you go to a Pride here in LA, you're bound to get a vibrator too.
Yeah, but they're like the shitty vibrators, right? Like the ones that you get at Walgreens. It's like, this is a
Actually,
massager. And you're like, yeah, it
actually, there was
is.
one like event I went to one time, and they gave me like a pretty nice one, like in a box and shit, you know?
Whoa.
Yeah.
They're like secondhand vibrator.
It was not secondhand. It was still in the plastic.
Oh my God, that would be a great story. The secondhand toy store. Sex toys.
That's definitely a Rumspringa right there.
That's a great.
Yeah.
This one has many stories.
Hey, we're depression proof. It's the second Great Depression of America, and
Mhm.
one store remains on the block, and it's the secondhand toy shop.
The recession may have hit, but not down below.
But like, and sorry to bring it to politics all the time, but isn't it like you have to have like an ID to buy a dildo now in Texas?
You've always had to have an ID to go into a sex store.
No, I think like online.
Oh, really? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I would imagine that's most places, though, right? No, because I didn't need
No,
one. No.
no, when you purchase things online.
No, but
Anyway.
definitely when I tried to get into, I was like 16, and I tried to go into a sex shop. I was like, oh, I forgot my ID. And they said, quick, what year were you born? And I was like, you got me. Because I didn't think of that before I went in.
You were trying to buy underage dildos.
Actually, I was trying to buy uh porn for my friend who was maybe I was even younger because I was driving illegally at 15 everywhere. And, and so I may have been like 15. I think that's the same night that I got stuck in a ditch, and
Dang.
probably the same day that we ditched school. They'd let me out of school to go because he needed something from his house. And I was like, I gotta drive him. And they were like, you can't just leave the school. And I was like, we're cousins. And the principal was like, what? And I was like, yeah, he's my cousin. I don't know how I talked my way into it. I could talk my way in and out of anything in school. But anyway, they were like, go ahead. And we left. We left school and we went to his house.
In
And he had a bus in his backyard, and we went and drank in his backyard in the
what?
bus.
Whose car was it?
My car, I had a car because I had a job when I was really young. I would get up and I had like 3 jobs when I was 16. But before that, I had a job. I would walk down the street before school. Like I would get up at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I took care of horses like 7 days a week. And I saved money to buy a white Ford Bronco, $1,500 cash. And at 15,
At
and my
15.
mom was like, if you
Okay.
can buy it, go ahead. So I did. So I'm just like,
Dang.
yeah.
Dang. You wish you had that Bronco
Mhm.
still?
Yes. Yes, so much. Look at, I have a picture of it right here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ready?
I'm ready. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. You could have lived in there. Like
It
you
was my
standing
fucking.
next to that picture. It looked like
I
a
used to let
huge
people.
studio apartment for you.
It was
At
huge.
that size you
It was
were.
huge. I was tiny. It was
You're
so
like this
tiny. I was probably like 5'2", the same height I am now, but like
but you
maybe
look
a
like an
hundred pounds.
ant beside it.
It was tiny.
Yeah, and you're wearing like super oversized clothes in that picture too, and you still look like an ant.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And
uh,
yeah, I would like let friends go have sex in it. Let them go use it.
dang. You
Yeah,
should have I mean, come on, you should have like rented it out.
I
Cash.
know, right? I
What
should
the
have.
hell?
Nah, it's whatever. They gave me alcohol, man.
Oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. I'm glad there was a trade-off.
All my friends, most of my friends were like older. Like there were a couple that were younger, but like my age.
Hmm.
But for the most part, they were older, and I'd be like chilling, and they'd be giving me alcohol. They'd be like, "We're gonna use your Bronco. Is that cool?" I'd be like, "Hell yeah, go 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 go." Yeah.
Well, shoot.
Well, shoot.
My first car was a Buick LeSabre. Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
I still wish I kind of had that car too.
Hmm.
It seems like whenever I see like an old Buick on the street, I'm like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They were cool cars. Yeah.
Grandma core.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Mm-mm.
I didn't really have friends. I was just a spy in my sister's life. Just like always hanging out with her and like and like just absorbing her world from an outsider's perspective. As she was a college person.
Indoctrination.
She was in college and I was like a kid
Oh, and you're
spying.
like, please,
So I would hang
please.
out with them. Yeah.
Yeah, so you were hanging out with older people too. Did they let you drink and stuff?
I
No.
mean, I definitely had, I mean, it was sibling supervision. It was cool. I definitely did drink, like, you know. I think on my first time I had a drink with her and stuff was like when I was 14. But, you know, I was always sipping in the, I was always sipping on
Mm-hmm.
the schnapps and stuff in the the bar we had.
That's so funny.
The
We
brandy.
we
Oh
also
my
had
God.
oh
So
no, that's what I was just about to say. It was like brandy. I was oh
brandy.
I think the first time I
Yeah.
got drunk was from Slow Gin, and I was going like across the hallway
Oh my God.
to the bedroom that had a box full of alcohol, and I would like run across and be like go 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 go, and then I'd run back, and then I'd run across go 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 go, or I'd run back and like uh-oh, I'm drunk
Good,
off of
good, good,
Slow
good,
Gin.
good.
Ugh. It
Oh
was
Lord.
Slow Gin, brandy, Crown Royal, which I hate to this day.
Oh Lord
My
mercy.
parents were like, "Why are all these any empty bottles in here?" And I was like, "That's crazy." Dude, I had no rules. Did you ever? I had no rules. I had really like no supervision.
Same.
I just came and went as I pleased.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
like,
I was
yeah,
definitely out in the streets.
up in
I-
these streets.
In the
Yeah.
streets all the time, miles away from home.
Yeah.
Because I biked there or, you know, skateboarded, just be miles away all the time.
Yeah.
No, it was great.
Like came home when you wanted to and was like, all right.
Yeah.
Nobody knew I was gone. It's cool.
Like, how I'm home.
No, that wasn't the case actually. My mom was very like, my mom tried to set boundaries with me and make rules.
Mhm.
And I was very rebellious. And I was like, no, that's not going to happen. And I would just leave.
Oh, God.
So,
I was just so trustworthy. They were just like, just go do whatever you want. Just kidding. No, I mean they just didn't care.
I was not. I was smoking cigarettes in front of my mom at like 14 to 15 years old.
Oh my God.
And she was just like, I remember like throwing a fit at one point, like throwing this table across the living room. And I sat down and lit a cigarette and said, "Do you feel better?" I was an asshole. I was such a piece of shit, dude.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and she knew it was like there was nothing she could have done
Oh
to
yeah. You
to
were
stop me.
rebellious though.
So
You were rebellious because you were like, why the hell am I here, Mom?
yeah,
You were like, why
yeah.
the hell did you take me away from my
Mm-hmm.
life and
You're
bring me
right.
to bumfuck Alabama?
Mm-hmm. You're right.
That's why you were
Yep.
rebellious.
100%. You moved me from the land of
Stripped.
opportunity, Chicago, Illinois, and took me to bumfuck Alabama, nowhere. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
well, here you
Mm-hmm.
go.
You were robbed.
I was fucking robbed.
You were robbed. Yep.
I would have come out so early too. I know I would have.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, I had like my own just like mental hangups. Like, I'm not gay. My sister's gay. I'm not gay. I mean, but I do like women, and I like always want to be the hero.
Mm,
So I had my own repression because of some kind of guilt I was born with. And yeah, but if I were somewhere else, anywhere else, God, anywhere else. Oh my God. If I grew up here, oh,
yeah, right. You wouldn't have had any of that.
here
Isn't
in
that
California,
nuts,
oh
dude?
God, they have the like I'm just so happy for children that they just have so much more here. Did I have a little, I had, of course, did I have some jealousy I had to get over for a second? Absolutely.
What kind of jealousy?
Jealousy of like the opportunities they have in
Hmm.
like in California. Like
Yeah.
I did a side gig one time where I was taking pictures of the inside of schools in Long Beach, because I was showing all the spaces because it was going to be
Hmm.
I forget the name of the place. It's called something space, where it's like you rent out these places for like your organization events or like anything like that. And so the schools just the schools would do this to make like some side money, you know. So
Right.
I went for the company, took a bunch of pictures of the places, and like, oh my gosh. And some of like just like their audio programs, like their huge theaters, like all the amenities inside of these pretty old schools were actually just so amazing. And I was like, wow, this is what it was like for you.
If only I would have had, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I grew up with so much resentment.
Yeah, I hear
I have
you.
so much resentment still toward both of my parents. Just like,
Yeah.
wow, I would have had such a better life. I would have had such a, you know,
Yeah.
and they thought the opposite. They thought they were gonna give me more wholesome life.
Well, it's
Yeah.
also like I see it here too, where it's like, people they want to have a family. They can't afford it here, really. Anyway, we are wholehearted
I've
in
gotten past a lot of that now.
souls.
I'm just like, I've done so much and have overcome so many things. And I don't know that in my adult life, um, had I not been forced to deal with all of the emotions that I had to and the maturity level that I had to take on as an early tween,
Yeah.
um, maybe I wouldn't have been able to deal with all the adult shit that I had to put up with, which was, I needed to go through the trauma to get through the trauma.
Yeah. Me and my sister, my other sister, were just talking, um, and I like in our conversation, I thought of something and I was like, this is interesting. Like being born to like parents who maybe haven't gone through any like inner work or anything
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
who don't know how to emote right or emote at all. Do you think that turns a child into an empath because maybe they're trying to like figure some shit out, understand their
Yeah, I mean,
parents?
I had a therapist tell me one time that I am an empath because I had a parent that was very focused, or parents very focused on themselves
Yeah, that
and
too.
their wants and needs. And at one, like when this is coming from one therapist who said, okay, so my grandfather died when I was like 9, I think. And I didn't cry, even though we were really, really close. And I remembered my mom crying a lot, a lot, a lot, and being in the bathroom and hearing her cry and trying to like open the door and she'd locked it and whatever, and never dealing with that. even though he and I were so close.
Yeah.
And I wanted to. I was very sad, but I remember just being like shutting it down.
Because your
As a
mother
kid, I shut
was,
that down.
because also
Yeah,
your
and I
mother
felt like
was,
I had to be the
yeah.
And my therapist said you took on the caretaker role. That was
Mm.
probably one of the first times you started to take on the caretaker role. And that was
Wow.
one of the first times. And then she was just sick
Dang.
constantly. So then I was always her caretaker, you know.
Mm.
hmm
Wow.
And then you become an empath and an asshole. Just
That's a
crazy.
separate
Both of
category
them.
there.
I know. How are you an asshole and an empath?
I
It
think maybe you
happens.
could, well, okay, let me tell you. I feel like an asshole sometimes because like um sometimes this sounds crazy, but yeah, sometimes I feel like emotions are way too much. I get really overcome with emotions when presented with different things, is that I just kind of have to like distance or
hmm
kind of like go inside, you know?
It's too much for you to take. And
Yeah,
you
I
have
have
to
to
shut
like
down,
shut down, pr
avoidant.
protect myself. Yes. We've already talked about that.
Excuse me.
And I'm like so over that bridge.
Yeah, you're past that. You've grown.
I come out. Okay.
I think mine is like mine comes out instead of like withdrawing and becoming avoidant, I get confrontational and
Yeah.
angry.
Yeah.
I go the other way.
So there's part of me that feels like I would like to start dating, but
Uh-huh.
there's also a big part of me that feels like I don't have the time.
Mm-hmm.
And and that I don't have the time. So therefore, I'm lazy to even broach the subject with myself.
I'm gonna tell you something. If I was in your shoes where I didn't live around any family, I didn't have that kind of responsibility, I don't have an animal, I don't have a partner,
I
I
want an
would
animal.
move to Thailand. I'm fucking telling you, I'm not,
Dude,
I
I've
would
been wanting to
figure it
move to
out.
Thailand too.
I would be gone. I would be
But
gone. I promise you I would
there's
be gone.
so okay, yes. Okay, absolutely. Like the idea of of moving out of the country, I'm totally for. But I mean, I moved cross country, but like there are a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things in play. And also like
Fucking
it,
ka.
and also like okay, like I really wanted to move to Mexico City, but I didn't, but then I started reading things about the gentrification of Mexico City, and I didn't want to be a part of that because I am Caucasian.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, so yeah, there's a lot of mental conflict. I potentially could do whatever I want, but gosh, it's getting scary out there, especially within these boundaries. And yeah, I don't know what to do. But also, there's still such a community here that I'm like, you know, like I
Yeah, and your governor is trying to like
well, not seclude, but do
separate
his own trades.
California from the United States. Yeah.
Do make his own deals with tariffs. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been talking about it over here, you know, like we good because California is the fifth largest economy in the world.
Yeah, I love how you can always tell the really dumb Republicans when they're like, I wish California would just not would secede. I wish they would. And it's like, you have no idea how much the United States was just the economy would it would plummet
Well, it
overnight
is.
if California seceded. Yeah, but imagine if California was gone.
Oh yeah, I know.
Gone.
They're just some haters. We know why. We know why. Every accusal is what? A confession, right?
I
And that
don't know,
is so
man.
true in so many ways, actually. Oh, well, okay. What do you think of like partners who are paranoid? Would
Hmm.
you say that the, accusation or just being like just paranoid, do they feel like uh do you think maybe that they are paranoid because of the fact that maybe they are not so um
Um,
I don't have words today. Oh my
Here's
God.
what I'm going to tell you is that the words that you are using right now are triggering to me because my last ex used to tell me that I was paranoid and I was crazy and I made up these crazy stories in my head. And I was accused, she would use the word accusing all the time. You're always accusing me. You're always accusing me. And I was like, I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you a question. It's yes or no. And at the end of our relationship, it turned out that I was right. Every time I brought it up, I was right. And it
Uh-huh.
was confirmed. And then she was sorry, 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 sending me videos of her pleading and begging. And you've seen the videos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Pleading and begging and I'm so sorry and what? Like
So it can be both sides.
it could be
Somebody
both.
somebody
Yeah.
could just totally be the gaslighter on one side.
Hmm.
You want information from the gaslighter, but they're not giving it to you, and they're pointing the finger back at you, saying that you're
Hmm.
paranoid. Sorry,
Right.
Sid. Yeah, no. But
Yeah.
then there's
And then on the
also
other
then
hand,
there's
you get
also
the
the other
really
people that are
insecure.
the aggressive, paranoid people
Hmm.
being like, I don't want you to go out. I don't want you to see that person. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to do that. Like, I'm just
Hmm.
I'm not. I would never. There's two different sides of the same coin, I
Right.
guess.
Hmm. You remember you had that one girlfriend that was like freaked out because we were hanging out?
Yeah,
We were like, calm down. You're being weird.
I know. I know.
Hmm.
Well, look at us, still buds.
Still buds. Bros
Oh.
before hoes.
We were definitely like that. Yes, bros before hoes. Okay, we gotta wrap it up here. We gotta wrap it. We got a minute 42 seconds.
Okay,
Let's
what
talk.
should we say? What should we say?
Sorry that we always make these off scripts weird, but
Well, we're weird.
at least it's not as cringe.
I don't know. It's still pretty cringe. It's just different kind of cringe. It's real cringe.
Yeah, it's real cringe. Oh, great. Great. I love this. I love this.
I honestly wish, like, I've always felt like my life would be a great docu-series, like a reality show, because there's always some weird drama that's happening and it's always out of my control. You know what I mean?
And that's why we write fiction.
That is exactly why.
Actually, my life is pretty mundane right now, aside from like, little parties here and there. Pretty mundane, but it's all good. But I need to write more lesbian fiction. Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what you're going to write about?
No, but I'm looking forward to it.
I do. Yours has to be really funny because mine's going to be really serious, okay?
Oh, I don't think so.
Or sexy.
I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Until
Until next
then,
time.
let it rip.